I'm going to talk to you about getting rid of old baggage in your relationships. And what does that really mean? That has to do with the stuff that you bring from your past into your current relationships. So we are all born with a personality. We are born with genetic predispositions, and then life experiences shape us and shape and modify that inborn temperament, personality, genetic predisposition. Pretty basic, right? But then what happens also is specific experiences remind us, or specific experiences in our past are brought through our memory and our emotions into our current situation by triggering stuff from the past. That is then brought up, maybe that something triggers an emotion that you had when something happened in the past, so that emotion comes into the present relationship. So let's look at some specifics about that, how that happens, because I can tell you when it does happen, it complicates your relationships, it damages your relationships, it can even sabotage and ruin your relationships. Okay? So first of all, how do you know? Well, first of all, if you're overreacting to something, it's not that big of a deal in the present relationship, but you're reacting intensely to it, maybe like you did in the past, you might know that your part of your reaction is related to the past experience and not this one. If you accuse someone of doing something they didn't do, that someone else in the past has done to you, maybe a former boyfriend or girlfriend or spouse cheated on you, was not faithful to you in the relationship. And so anytime this new person even looks at anyone else or talks to somebody else of the opposite sex, you're instantly accusing that person of cheating on you. You can be pretty sure that that's you bringing in that baggage into this current relationship, unless you have proof, right? You project your fears, distrust, and negative experiences onto someone who's not that way, and yet when that person says, I'm not that way, you refuse to consider that possibility. So let's say you had a critical parent who, no matter what you did, you were criticized, just ruthlessly criticized, never could please that parent. And then this person in your relationship makes just a benign, simple request to maybe have eggs fried differently. And all of a sudden you're freaking out and accusing this person of being critical and mean, and you can't do anything right, when this person says, whoa, that's really not me. I just asked for my eggs, right? That's an overreaction, plus you're accusing this person of being critical when this person really isn't. So again, you can see how that literally transferred from before into your present. You react like you did as a child or in a previous relationship because it's the only way you know how to handle uncertainty and stress. So maybe anytime you get stressed, you go back to how you handled it as a child. Maybe you shut down, you get busy, you deny, you run away. Maybe as an adult in a prior relationship, the only way you could handle the pain in the marriage was to drink. And so anytime anything happens in this, you instantly think about, okay, I've got to go do something to take away the pain. Maybe you're tempted, maybe you do, okay? But if your reaction to something now is the same as it was before, and you haven't matured and grown and learned how to handle stress and learned how to handle, correct or constructive criticism, or learned how to handle a little bit of rejection or disappointment, this lets you know that those are areas that you have to work on. If you're extremely sensitive about certain things that have happened to you and you're finding that it's a strain on your relationship and it's continually coming up, you're probably dealing with old baggage. Now, I frequently get this one because it's common. If you've been betrayed in a relationship before, if somebody's lied to you, if somebody's cheated on you, if somebody's kept secrets and hasn't told you, or had money put away, in this relationship, anything that reminds you of that fear of that betrayal again happening, of being lied to, of being cheated, of having things hidden from you, you're going to have a major reaction to anything that suggests that. So if you're unable to resolve issues because the discussion continuously gets heated and goes nowhere, and it just gets blown out of proportion and you can't reach an impasse, it could be that one or both of you are dealing with some old baggage. So what do? You've got to own it. You've got to own your own baggage. You've got to look at it as recognizing this is my baggage, your baggage. Okay, you carry your baggage into the relationship, the other person carries his or her baggage into the relationship. So you've got who you are today and you've both got your old baggage. So when something happens, you've got to figure out, is this really about what's happening now completely? Or is some old stuff coming into my reaction? And if it is, you've got to own it. You've got to identify it. You've got to know what it is. You've got to work on getting some healing, figure out how to constructively communicate that to the other person, work on getting some healing and some resolve in that issue so that old baggage doesn't mess up your current relationship. So for instance, if your partner betrayed you before, okay? You say to the person that you're with, I had a prior relationship where the person cheated on me, and I'm really distrustful. I'm just scared that that's going to happen again. I don't know if I could go through that again. So anytime that I don't know where you are, I just need to let you know that I'm struggling with that fear. I'm not going, you don't accuse the other person of cheating on you because that damages a relationship. You don't accuse the other person of not being available or doing something wrong or saying, what were you doing when you didn't call me for 3 hours? That's damaging to the relationship. What you say is, I struggle with feeling insecure when I don't hear from you for 3 hours or 3 days, or it takes you 2 days to respond to my call, that type of thing. Let the person know that you're owning it, that you're experiencing it, and then the person can walk beside you and help you and at least be sympathetic to your concerns and your needs and your old baggage, but not take responsibility for your old baggage, not have your old baggage put over on that person's side and say, hey, this is yours. This other person cheated on me. Now you've got to carry this baggage in this relationship because somebody else cheated. So I'm going to accuse you. I'm going to be mean. I'm going to be mad at you. I'm going to be distrusting. I'm going to tell you that I don't believe you. All of that stuff is carrying old baggage into your current relationship. You can ruin it. So you've got to own your own baggage. You've got to start unpacking it. You've got to find out what's in there. You got to find out how it's still affecting you today. And then when you're struggling with something from the past, you got to make it yours. You can share it with the other person, and you can ask for that person to walk along beside you and help you. This is another thing that this really illustrates this well with is abandonment. If you've struggled with any type of abandonment in your childhood, abandonment in your old relationships, you're going to be very sensitive to this person not being there for you, for this person not attending to you, this person not paying attention to you, this person needing to go away, maybe out of town. All of that's going to be hard for you. So if you struggle with abandonment, you need to own it. Recognize, where did it come from? Was it my childhood, the prior relationship? Who was it that abandoned me? How did I feel abandoned? When do I feel abandoned in my adult relationships? In other words, what does this other person do that pulls up this feeling of abandonment? And then you own it and you say, look, abandonment is messing up our relationship. I'm feeling abandoned, but it's my problem. It comes from my childhood. It comes from my prior marriage. I'm going to get help for my abandonment. I'm going to figure out what it is. I'm going to own it. I'm going to start dealing with it. I'm not going to let it sabotage our relationship. I'm not going to accuse you of abandoning me. I'm not going to accuse you of neglecting me when you're not, just because that's how I'm feeling. I'm going to go get help. You can ask that person to walk along beside you, and when you're feeling abandoned, share with that person, I'm feeling abandoned, and that person can say, I'm sorry. I don't want you to feel abandoned, but I'm just distracted right now because I got this project from work, and you can work together. That's healthy. partnership with your old baggage. But the key ingredient in there is to never accuse the other person of being that when the person is not, and to own the fact that it's yours and ask that person to walk along beside you. It is healthy that way, but unhealthy when you accuse. So I hope that this has helped you identify how old baggage can sabotage and destroy relationships, and given you kind of some hope that it's possible to kind of unpack that old baggage and get to a place where you're healthy and it's actually making you grow and actually strengthening your relationship rather than the opposite. So thank you for watching this video on Change My Relationship.